Recently, on the BBC's current affairs programme Newsnight, the historian David Starkey has sparked a row that has hijacked the analysis of the riots.
The whites have become black. Violent, destructive, nihilistic gangster culture has become the fashion. This Jamaican patois that has intruded in England.
His comment sparks fury on Facebook, Twitter, message boards and other social media. A petition has even been drawn up to demand an apology from him.
David Starkey's point was that where you have a multicultural society, you have violence, you have disorder, you have crime, and that black culture is synonymous with that, and that white kids have been becoming infected with this black culture. His view is that black culture is all about 50 cents. Well, 50 cents represents, in relation to black culture, the full stop after a 15,000 word essay. It's simply focusing on the marginal. Our culture extends way back to the Nubian empires of Africa.
We have great heroes and sheroes within our community, both in the United States and in the UK and elsewhere. And to concentrate on rap culture as the epitome of black culture is indeed a very grievous and serious insult to the black community.
People like us realize what Starkey was trying to say, except that he didn't say it very well. The gang culture is part of the rap culture. They go together. The rap message is all about kicking authority, because white people are never going to give you a chance. And so to be a man it's necessary to be in the gang and be violent and show them who is boss and demand respect and all this sort of thing. I don't think it's a racial thing. I think it's a cultural thing. So he is right in a way that there is a Jamaican influence on the streets. Definitely. I mean, in the 80s, it was yardies everywhere, shooting everybody, drugs everywhere. Wherever you find a Jamaican immigrant population, you'll find some kind of violence going on. And I know people are probably going to shoot me for this and say, ooh, she's racist, blah, 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 but it's the truth.
In days following the riots, there were reports of disturbances in the streets of Eltham and Enfield. Far-right group, the English Defence League, claimed they went down to protect the area from looters. I asked their leader about his thoughts on David Starkey's comments.
I wasn't aware of what he says, but it's sort of like it's cool to be Muslim, and you're allowed to be. It's cool to be black, and you should be ashamed to be English. That's what we see. We should be proud to be English, proud to be British, but we're not. So then kids are looking for another culture, something they can be accepted in. That's what's happening. That's what we see happening anyway.
However, despite outrage from the black community and beyond, there are some that agree with him. So it begs the question, does race have anything to do with it?
I don't believe they're just any black. I believe the majority of them come from that one country, Jamaica. It's not a colour, it's a country, it's a culture.
I don't think it's partially racial at all. If you look at the rioting, there was 50-50, the 50 black type Asian and the 50 of white people as well.
I think it's really dangerous to be pointing the finger at one racial group or another. I think it really has the potential to be dangerous and to incite a sort of more racial tension.
I think there's a possibility of racial tensions being increased because of the way the media has portrayed the whole uprising and rioting amongst young people.
It will start a racist thing because they're going to be more riot. You're going to find more black people rioting, say, oh, they're blaming all the blacks for what they do down there. It's not all down to the blacks.
Operation Black Vote is an organisation that encourages ethnic minorities to get involved in European politics. Its director Simon Woolley said that the riots have sent race relations back 10 years. I went to find out what led him to such a conclusion.
Right now, the black community is under siege. I've never known a situation like we see today, in which the whole focus is negatively towards black communities. I understand how they're angry, but their response actually right now could negatively affect black people for a generation, because the response from the authorities, from the government, is these people are bad. They will not be helped, they will be thrown into prison, and you know what? We won't trust any other black person at the same time too. The demonization, frankly, is unprecedented, and I don't know how we'll recover.
While some communities may feel the pressure of blame, others can see some positives. The Sikh community recently hit the headlines after they took to the streets of Southall to protect their place of worship from rioters.
I think it's hopefully people are, if you're not Sikh, for example, you're probably seeing the Sikh community in a better light, which is good. If you didn't know what Sikh was, maybe you're looking up what Sikhs are, which is also good as well. And I hope that since what the Sikh community did wasn't really supposed to just be about just Sikhs protecting Sikhs, it was supposed to be about bringing the whole community together. People will then see that and think, well, actually, maybe as a whole community, not just Sikhs or not just Christians or not just Muslims, we can then try and build that kind of foundation.
In the aftermath of any riots, tensions are always high, but with a question mark still hanging over the causes of the rioting, and with race and culture being suggested as a candidate, it is no reason why some people find some of David Starkey's comments fearful. But many people within these communities that have been ravaged by the riots agree that it was opportunism, a cry for help, or even sheer greed. So does race have anything to do with it? The question remains.